It's a question any parent of an infant would never expect to be asked. Is your baby racist? But according to new research, babies as young as 6 months old can show racial bias.
Well, joining us now is the lead author from the University of Toronto, carried out the research, Dr Kang Lee. Dr Lee, welcome to you. Thank you for joining the programme. Can you explain to me why babies as young as 3 months old, as far as you're concerned, could be racial bigots?
Okay, so what we have been looking at really is based upon earlier findings we have made. That is, 3-year-olds show very strong implicit and explicit racial biases in favor of own race individuals and against other race individuals. So we were very surprised by it, and so we want to find out what's the earliest age would the babies show these kind of biases. So when we showed music, the happy music or sad music to babies, when they are paired with own race faces, they look at much longer at these happy music paired with the own race faces, and the sad music paired with sad music with other race faces, which means they are...
Hey, let me stop you there. I've had 4 kids, right? And I remember playing them happy and sad music. And if it was happy music, they would smile. And if it was sad music, they'd look sad. It didn't make them racial bigots. So what I'm trying to
No, it's not. What I'm trying to explore here. Bigots.
Can you just explain to me how can a baby? Let me ask you. How can a baby as young as 3 months old? We have a couple of babies here. One is black, one is white. Neither at the moment is showing any sign of racism towards each other. But can you explain how can a 3-month-old baby have any kind of prejudice?
Yes, not 3 months old, 6 months old, because we actually tested 3 months old. When we showed them the same music and paired with their own race or other race faces, they actually don't show any biases. But at 6 months of age, they start show this bias. So then the question is why? And one of the reasons actually is a very, very strong reason is because most of us are born into monoracial families. And because of that, we actually only should see mostly our own race individuals, own race faces in the first 6 months of life.
Okay, can I ask then, is your study, and I don't want to reduce it to this simplicity, but I'll have to for the purposes of time, is your study not just showing that babies in monoracial families are not familiar with other races, rather than they are racially biased against them?
Yes, so they are not familiar with other race faces, and however, they start to associate negative emotions with other race individuals and positive emotions with own race individuals. And not only so, but also they are starting to learn more likely from own race individuals when both own race and other race individuals are not performing, not giving the information 100% correct, which is typical in our everyday interaction with the parents.
But I remember showing one of my boys when he was about 6 months old a tortoise for the first time, and he reacted negatively, right? Does that make him, you know, anti-tortoise?
No, not anti-tortoise. What I'm saying is that basically this phenomenon really is really about unfamiliarity, because babies, as you just pointed out, have this strong neophobia. So new things, they tend to show negative biases. But the starting point, but if you familiarize your child with tortoise, then your child slowly become not showing negative reactions to these animals. So the same will be true when you show, if you are exposed your babies to other race individuals.
But final
and
question.
Again, they are not going to show these kind of biases. So this kind of starting off with these little biases and then slowly build up. And
it's our responsibility to make people think positively.
The truth is that when you're a parent, you just try and, you know, as kids get older, you just don't espouse racist thought processes. You don't say to them, if you see someone with a different colour skin, you treat them as equal, not as people who are not equal. I mean, that's just called parenting, isn't it? The idea that you can blame a kid...
Actually, I have to disagree with you about this one. Actually, from the very beginning, one of the important things you have to do is expose your babies to as many kinds of individuals as possible. So that's number one. Number two, actually, very, very important. You actually do not label them by their race or ethnicity, but rather label individuals by their individual names.
Okay.
And that is actually a very, very important message I would like to get across to parents.